Good morning from the fairgrounds. I'm Damon Singleton, and the gates are opening soon for the first Saturday of Jazzfest 2026. Coming up, Ian McNulty takes first-time fester Hayley Payne on a culinary crash course across the track. Keith Sparrow breaks down today's must-see acts, and we're sitting down with this year's official poster artist, Paul Rogers. But first, a thank you to our sponsors. Keep the good times rolling and plan your next Louisiana adventure at ExploreLouisiana.com. And New Orleans & Company. No city brings people together like New Orleans. And New Orleans & Company makes planning your travel easier than ever. Find everything you need at NewOrleans.com. Now, let's get to the music.
All right, Hayley, you wanted to try classic Jazzfest dishes. It doesn't get much more classic than Crawfish Monica. Monica, yes, is a person. We met her back there at her booth. She and Pete have been doing Crawfish Monica out here for decades. And I'm telling you, for a lot of people, this is their first taste of the fest. So let's give it a go.
I'm excited. Oh, wow.
See, this is another one of those flavors that is just you're at Jazzfest when you eat this.
It's so good.
It's creamy. It's got a little bit of spice, but in that good New Orleans way. It's not overpoweringly spicy. It's not burning your palate off. It's just got that nice building peppery flavor to it and those plump crawfish tails. This is your first taste. Would you recommend to your friends?
Oh, yeah, definitely. It is so good. Man.
This is one of the few booths out here that just does one dish. 6 lines, one dish, all day long. People loading up on the stuff. And I guarantee you, by the end of the festival, when the sun's starting to set, you'll see people leaving Jazzfest with bowls of Crawfish Monica wrapped in foil to bring to their friends, or maybe to bring home and freeze. I don't know. There's a lot of fest to go still here. So this is we're not in the hoarding phase of Crawfish Monica, but people will be beelining it for another bite of Big River Foods' classic Jazzfest dish. There's a lot of great food at Jazzfest, but Jazzfest also has its classic drinks. And no, Hayley, I don't just mean the beer tent, okay? A lot of people beeline to the beer tent, that's true. But when you're out here eating all this delicious food, one of the best pairings for it, in my mind, is the Rosemint iced tea. It's a classic taste of the fest. I got the unsweet version to start, so let's take a sip.
Wow. That is so good.
Dry, bright, refreshing. One of the really hot days out here at Jazzfest. This 32-ouncer is going to go quick. It pairs with a lot of the food really nicely. And, Jazzfest people, they love to customize. I have heard that Rosemint iced tea also pairs pretty well with vodka. I'm just saying, I've heard that.
I can see it.
Yeah, it may bear some further testing. We shall see. Well, cheers.
Cheers.
Hi, I'm Billy Nungesser, Lieutenant Governor of the great state of Louisiana, and we're about to kick off a great day at the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival. This festival puts Louisiana food, music, and culture center stage. There's nothing like it anywhere. I hope you have a great time and get inspired to come back and experience all Louisiana has to offer. Visit ExploreLouisiana.com to plan a trip of a lifetime where you can feed your soul.
Well, your Saturday forecast calls for some mostly cloudy skies and the possibility of some rainfall as well. I think the worst of the rainfall is going to be in those early morning hours. In fact, the model's showing that rainfall potential across the area in the morning. Then in the afternoon, it clears out just a bit. I think we're still going to see a few spotty showers, but I don't think it's going to be as bad as what we're going to experience in those early morning hours this morning. Temperatures today once again rising into the 80s, and the UV index this afternoon will be at the very high level. Protect your skin from the dangerous rays of the sun. Hey, this forecast brought to you by Entergy, powering our culture-rich home for more than 100 years.
So you like things curated with a little extra care? Good. This city doesn't do ordinary. It does unforgettable. A little indulgence? Of course, you've earned it. Culture? We wrote the book. Where dinner is more than a meal, it's an experience. And music? Oh, it finds you. This is New Orleans, curated for you. Get started at NewOrleans.com.
Hey, Damon Singleton back here with Keith Sparrow, the Music Man, and we've had a lot of great acts so far. I really enjoyed Stephen Marley. Who have you seen so far that you've really enjoyed?
Well, I did catch a little bit of Stephen Marley doing his dad's song, Get Up, Stand Up, which was a great way to end it. That was the other day. I was doing that kind of final loop, seeing a little bit of everybody. So I saw a bit of Kings of Leon. Like the fact that they brought in their own lighting rig and put it up at the back of the the main festival stage. But man, the one that's blown me away so far was Ray. Had never seen her before. She's up there in this beautiful green gown. The whole band, it's a big band with, I think, 7 horns, 4 strings. They're all in tuxedos with white tennis shoes, so they look super sharp. And she was just so playful and fun up there. She clearly enjoys what she's doing, clearly appreciated the fact that she was playing at the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival. She made reference to it. And she totally went with the flow. A couple in the audience she saw got engaged in the middle of her set. She was almost teary, and she said, you know what? When I do the song, Where's My Husband, later on, we're going to bring you guys up on stage. And she did. So she brought him up on stage, and they sat at a little table as she did Where's My Husband. And they made out for half the song, I think. So obviously they were caught up in the moment as well. But it was a lot of fun to see.
That is awesome. My plan was to catch a little bit of Stephen Marley and then go to Rain and Just Like You. But I couldn't get myself away from Stephen Marley.
The first rule of Jazzfest is if you're at something that's really good, don't leave. Just roll with it. Just roll with it. Yep.
So what do you got for us today?
So Saturday, this will probably be the biggest day crowd-wise. Again, depending on weather variables, but act-wise, this should be the biggest day. You've got on one main stage, Stevie Nicks. Back in 2022, she pulled the largest crowd of that whole festival for her solo show. She's been here also with Fleetwood Mac.
Yep.
Huge following here in New Orleans. So I expect she'll have a massive crowd at the festival stage. But then at the same time she's on, at that end of the fairgrounds, you've got Tyler Childers on at the Gentilly stage. Tyler sold out the Smoothie King Center last year, so he's also got a massive following for that kind of sort of folk bluegrass country thing that he does. So I think, you're going to have, it's going to be like a seesaw out at the fair. You're going to have the two ends, balancing each other out with these big crowds at the far sides.
Yeah. I think they probably have some fans that cross over, but, it seems to me that a lot of folks that go to see Stevie Nicks are probably not Tyler type of people. I don't know.
No, that's true, but it's interesting because Stevie now has kind of like swung back around where she has like a younger fan base again. Like I think, a lot of younger music fans think of her as like the cool aunt kind of vibe, So she's got, so there is a little bit of crossover, but yeah, generally speaking, you're going to have all the Fleetwood Mac and Stevie Nicks fans at her, and all the people that are kind of into, Tyler and Billy Strings and all those kind of acts are going to be down there seeing him. But, a lot of other stuff to see, too, between those two guys, I'm thinking one of the other ones you want to see on Saturday is Samantha Fish. Samantha, of course, from Kansas City, moved down to New Orleans a number of years ago. Just a killer guitar player, writes good songs, great voice, always puts on a good show. She'll be on the festival stage ahead of Stevie Nicks and the Revivalists, who are in between Samantha and Stevie. So it's a really good day at the festival stage. Samantha's definitely worth checking out for sure.
Man, Keith Sparrow, thank you so much for your input. We'll be back with more.
In my Louisiana, sunrise means fresh seafood on the table.
My Louisiana, every meal is a celebration.
My Louisiana really makes me wonder.
Ours is fast!
With real-life swamp creatures!
In my Louisiana, music is a way of life.
My Louisiana is sheer magic, from sun up to sundown.
Till sunup again. What will your Louisiana be?
When you find your Louisiana, you feed your soul.
Festival season is a non-stop party, but for a soulful reset between those high-energy weekends, head to Central Louisiana. We're trading city streets for the ancient beauty of the cypress trees. Start at Chico State Park. This is Louisiana at its most genuine. Wander the Arboretum to see our native beauty up close, then stand among the giants on the Cypress Walk. These boardwalks are the perfect place to slow down and breathe. Head into Bunkie to refuel with famous red beans, hearty sandwiches, and a slice of homemade pie for dessert. You'll find it all inside Griffin's Antiques and Main Street Market, a treasure hunter's dream filled with vintage finds and local handmade goods. Next, step into Hoover's Five and Dime. It's pure, spirited nostalgia where you'll find everything you didn't know you needed. This local staple will have you smiling the second you walk through the aisles. Before you head home, hit the Palace Farmers Market for a fresh taste of the local harvest. Keep the good times rolling and plan your next adventure at explorelouisiana.com.
Evan Giddick, chef de cuisine at Dickie Brennan's Bourbon House in the French Quarter, and we're going to make some bourbon barbecue shrimp and grits. You're going to add your milk, cream, and butter. Once it's boiling, you're going to add your grits. Cook it for about an hour. Add some salt and pepper for seasoning. And just keep stirring as long as it's cooking, just so it doesn't stick. Then you're going to add some butter to a saute pan. And add some garlic. Make all our sausage in-house. It's a nice smoky, fully seasoned andouille sausage. Whatever mushrooms you like. Keep stirring the grits. Once everything starts to brown a little bit, we're going to add our shrimp. And we only use the freshest Gulf seafood, Louisiana white shrimp, only the best when it's right in your backyard. At this point, we're going to season some Creole seasoning. Cook your shrimp until they got a little bit of color on each side. Then you're going to deglaze with some bourbon. You're going to then add a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, crystal hot sauce, and rosemary. Cook that down. You're going to then add a little bit of cream. Keep stirring the grits. And then melt butter in just until it tastes good, you know. Just slowly adding it in until it's emulsified. And that's your dish. Time to eat. Time to eat. All right, we're going to plate our bourbon barbecue shrimp and grits. A bowl, we're just with a nice portion of grits. Top off with some shrimp, mushrooms, andouille sausage, and you can't forget that rich, beautiful New Orleans barbecue sauce, spiked with that bourbon. And then we're just going to top it and finish it off with some green onions, brighten it up a little bit, and that's it. Bourbon barbecue shrimp and grits.
In my Louisiana, jazz has a way of making me sway.
Cajun goes way into the night.
Zydeco is the only way to move me. It's right.
In my Louisiana, blues is a way of life.
When you find your Louisiana, you feed your soul.
Hey, I'm Doug MacCash. I'm with NOLA.com and the Times-Picayune, and I'm here with Paul Rogers, the artist who designed the 2026 Jazzfest poster, which is inspired by Louis Armstrong's 125th anniversary. It would be his 125th birthday. Yeah. What was your concept for the poster?
Well, you know, I think people might think you just get a phone call and you do whatever you want, and that becomes the poster. But there's always a lot of discussion back and forth, right? Sometimes there's a contract with a performer, sometimes there's not, and so this one they were kind of fishing around, and I said to the publisher, I said, well, you know, it's the 125th anniversary of Louis Armstrong's birth. That's a good excuse to do a Louis poster, and that's really how it started, right? And we decided the streetcar was an icon of New Orleans that everyone loves, right? And so that's how it came about, you know.
And you captured it well, because to this day, when the streetcar passes at night and you see the inside lit up with the people in the windows, it's the best. That's the best thing.
It's beautiful.
Louis not alone in streetcar number 125. Who's in there with him?
That's right. John Batiste and Trombone Shorty are in there. And then two guys from the Treme Brass Band. We have Benny Jones Sr. and Uncle Lionel. Uncle Lionel passed away a few years, but Benny's still with us. Yeah.
So he's in good company?
He's in good company, yeah.
This was not your first Jazzfest poster? 10 years ago you did one.
Yeah, and further back, my first one was 2002, Wynton Marsalis poster. So this is my fourth poster.
And that 2002 poster had some of the same character, where you're on the street in the French Quarter and you're looking at a lighted
Yeah, you're
home.
right. You're right. It's kind of green and yellow too.
Yeah,
So they
with Wynton
yeah,
in there. Harry Connick Jr. in 2004.
Yes, I did the Harry Connick Jr. in 2004 as well.
And in 2016, the House of Swing with Ellis Marsalis and his sons Branford, Delfeo, Jason, and your friend Wynton Marsalis. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, Wynton and I have been friends for a long time. Like, we met on a project about 30 years ago, and just built a friendship over the years. So if we're in the same town, we meet up, and I spent a week on the road with him and the band from Jazz at Lincoln Center doing drawings. And that was the funnest week of my life.
Wow.
It was great.
Imagine. Jazzfest poster isn't your only gig. You have done some other high-profile graphic design, like for the cover of the New Yorker, for instance.
Yeah, I've done a New Yorker cover, and I've done many illustrations on the inside. Getting a cover of the New Yorker is like winning the lottery. There's a lot of artists involved, and you never know. So it's one of those great things when it happens. Yeah.
And where do you live?
I live in Pasadena, California.
And you come and go in New Orleans? What's your relationship?
I try to come to Jazzfest as much as I can, right? My first Jazzfest was 1989, and I came and I saw the poster series, and I was aware of the series, but I just thought, well, this is never a project I'll get, because there's so many great artists in New Orleans, and it kind of seems like a local thing. And then just 2002, out of the blue, the publisher was looking online, and something I did for Wynton, he spotted and thought that would be a good match. And so I said yes immediately. I was like, and so that's kind of started the ball rolling. Yeah.
And then the phone rings once in a while.
The phone rings once in a while. The publisher, Bud Brimberg's been publishing this poster since 50 years, since he started this thing. And we're friends, and so we talk on the phone all the time, right? And even if I'm not doing the poster, he'll send me pictures. Here's what I'm thinking. What do you think? Just he gets, opinions, So it's always something that's kind of going. And I would say to him every year, man, you better do one of Ellis Marsalis while he's still with us, right? And there was always kind of reason not to, and then finally it was like we had that chance. And so that was wonderful.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
Well, where can we get one of these posters? They have them out at the fest?
They're here. They're at the tent, but you have to hurry because they've been selling. I'm very happy. They've been selling very, very well.
And they do sell out.
They can sell out, right? Yes, that does happen.
I think I remember a few times when.
Yeah, and Art for Now website has them if you want to order online.
Well, very nice meeting you in person. I've
seen
your posters for years. Thank you very much for being with us.
Good to meet you too.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Thanks, man. Okay.
So you like things curated with a little extra care? Good. This city doesn't do ordinary. It does unforgettable. A little indulgence? Of course, you've earned it. Culture? We wrote the book. Where dinner is more than a meal, it's an experience. And music? Oh, it finds you. This is New Orleans, curated for you. Get started at NewOrleans.com.
We are off and running for the biggest Saturday of the fest. Whether you're hunting for that Paul Rogers poster or following Ian's food tour, you've got the blueprint to fest like a pro. Make sure you're following us at NOLA News on Instagram for all the Saturday sights. Before we head out, thanks to our sponsors. Keep the good times rolling and plan your next Louisiana adventure at explorelouisiana.com. And New Orleans & Company. No city brings people together like New Orleans. And New Orleans & Company makes planning your travel easier than ever. Find everything you need at neworleans.com. I'm Damon Singleton. We'll see you back here this afternoon for scenes from around the festival.